All right, welcome back inside the TCO studios. I'm joined by General Manager Rick Spielman. And Rick, congratulations on the first round of the draft. Christian Darrisaw, he just seems like a natural fit for this Minnesota Vikings team.
Yeah, no, a couple of things that really stuck out about him: his length, his athleticism, his ability in the run game to move people, but athletic enough to get out to the second level, especially in our outside zone scheme, and very patient as a pass rusher. And the length of his arms are huge for left tackle, and with his feet and his patience, we were very excited to be able to get him where we were able to get him.
You knew you wanted him from the start, but the communication wasn't as much as it would be for selecting a normal first rounder, correct?
No, in fact, as I said out in my press conference, I haven't spoken with him. I did watch all his Zoom calls, but due to the circumstances with all the COVID protocol, he wasn't down to Senior Bowl. Those were the only players that I was able to really communicate with and get to know a little bit through the interview process. I did get out to a lot of pro days this year, but you weren't able to communicate with those players except say hello. So we relied a lot on the technology, and I relied on a lot because I thought our coaches did an outstanding job. Our scouts, when you listen to these Zoom calls, they're about an hour long each. And so you can get a real good feel and a sense for not only the player's knowledge of the game and how he's going to fit here, but his personality and is he going to be a culture fit here.
With everything that you just said, how did that force you guys to be creative in knowing exactly that's what I wanted?
Well, I think everybody had to be creative,
Okay.
So we're kind of used to it over the past year as things get thrown at you and you have to be able to adapt and adjust. And I think the one thing that gives us such a competitive advantage is the people. Mm-hmm. And from the IT people to the scouts to the coaches to, even our medical staff, which they had a very, very difficult job this year. And with the leadership of Eric Sugarman and his expertise and our doctors, they had to piecemeal a lot of the physicals this year. Mm-hmm. And as of 5 o'clock today, we were still getting results in. So that was a little bit of an adjustment, but knowing their expertise and what they're reading on the MRIs and maybe not seeing as many players as they have in the past, felt very confident we had enough information that we needed to make the best picks possible.
You trade from the 14th spot to the 23rd spot with the New York Jets. Christian Darrisaw falls to you. What went into that process of saying, hey, we're going to trade down and we're going to, hopefully wait for this guy to fall to us?
Yeah, that's the hard part of the draft. We felt it was too good a deal to have 4 third-rounders tomorrow. Is going to give us a lot of flexibility. I think we still have 3 fourth-rounders as well. Mm-hmm. So I know we're going to get a lot of good football players, but not having a second-round pick and to have the second overall pick in the third round is going to give us more than enough ability to get up in the second if we choose to do that. But to be able to accumulate that draft capital and still get the player that you coveted, we felt it was a very good night for the Minnesota Vikings.
You were posed the question earlier this week, I believe, from Eric Smith. He was asking, can you wait 64 picks to get another selection? And clearly you answered the question tonight.
Yeah, I can't wait 14 picks, apparently.
Yeah, that's very true. But now, how important is it now having the second pick in the third round to use that capital to move up?
Well, that's 2 spots away and you're in the second round.
Right.
But it's also the higher you're up in that round, the higher you can go up in the second round. Mm-hmm. So if you're picking in the bottom of the third to try to go into the top half of the second, that's a lot of draft capital. But when you're up that high in the third round, you don't have to spend as much draft capital to get up where we may go tomorrow.
Right, and clearly the offensive tackle position was a void that you wanted to fill. Now, what are some other needs that you think that stands out?
I think, with what we were able to accomplish on defense and free agency, filling a lot of holes on that side, getting a left tackle. Now, Christian has to come in here and compete and earn that job, but assuming he does that, we will fill that need. So tomorrow we're going to really, truly follow our board and try to get the best players available.
So now I think it's 11 picks now?
I usually don't count. I just tell me what I got to do tomorrow.
I think Mike Zimmer called you Trader Rick again today.
Oh, yeah. He's a very patient man when we're just looking at him, and he was ready to unplug the phones again because the phones were buzzing pretty good tonight.
Knowing how the draft board is shaking up, at least the first round, was there anything that surprised you, or are there any surprises so far?
No, I mean, I'm never going to judge anyone else's draft picks.
Okay.
I mean, everybody puts a lot of time and energy into this and try to make the best decisions possible for their organizations. We'll get together tomorrow. We'll kind of pick through the board again, kind of identify some guys that we really want to target, and hopefully we'll be able to accomplish that and get those players we still covet.
Well, I think there's 720,000 people that filled out mock drafts for the Vikings this year are a little anxious, but we're not you, so we don't have the opportunity to pick. But best of luck tomorrow. Best of luck going forward.
Thanks for having me on, Gabe.
Absolutely.